Olivia Coleman typed the final sentence of the anonymous complaint against Professor Frank Mueller. Then, she clicked submit without hesitation.
She thought, that should take care of Professor Perfect, and Sarah's letter along with him.
30 miles away, Sarah refreshed her MBA application portal, unaware her future had just been rewritten. The email read, "Your recommendation from Professor Frank Mueller is voided pending an HR investigation. Your application is on hold."
She whispered, "What? Frank's under investigation?"
She grabbed her phone and dialed the admissions office.
"What do you mean the letter is voided? Frank Mueller has been my mentor for 3 years."
The officer explained that Professor Mueller had been suspended until the investigation ended. His letters carried no weight.
She thought, who would file an anonymous complaint against Frank? This doesn't make any sense.
In a single afternoon, Sarah's careful plan collapsed, and she had no idea her own sister was holding the wrecking ball. Sarah dialed Frank's number before she could talk herself out of it.
"Frank, it's Sarah. Did you know about the complaint that got you suspended?"
I haven't been told anything. Suspended? For what? Sarah, what's going on?
She summarized the voided letter and his suspension, already listed on the university website.
It's a nightmare. Investigations can take months. Your application. I am sorry, Sarah.
After hanging up, Sarah sat in her parked car, and an old memory surfaced. She recalled when Olivia deleted her thesis file the night before submission, claiming it was an accident, and the internship Olivia stole by telling the hiring manager Sarah had already accepted another offer.
She thought, Olivia works in HR here. She knows how to file anonymous complaints. Could she be behind this?
The pattern was ugly and familiar, but Sarah wasn't ready to name her sister yet. The next morning, Sarah drove to the university HR office. Rehearsing questions she was afraid to ask, the clerk stepped away to pull a form. Sarah's eyes landed on a half-buried complaint file on the counter. The name listed as confidential filer on the form was Olivia Coleman.
Olivia, my own sister.
She drove home in silence, the betrayal settling into her chest like cold stone. That evening, she logged into her application portal and formally withdrew her candidacy. Then, she opened a blank document and wrote a single letter addressed to Dean Marcus Stewart. She wrote, "I am writing to explain the timeline of a recommendation letter that was unfairly voided, and to identify who within your institution benefited from its removal." She sealed the envelope, addressed it to the dean's office, and dropped it into the mailbox before doubt could catch up. Sarah had no idea that the person who would ultimately read her letter was not Dean Stewart, but his wife. Dean Stewart read the letter in his office, his frown deepening with every line.
She withdrew her application because of the suspension, and she's naming her own sister. This can't be ignored.
He brought the letter home and showed it to Catherine after dinner.
Olivia Coleman. I don't know her, but if she works in HR and filed a complaint right before your applicant's letter was voided, that's too clean to be random.
Catherine had spent years sorting through applicant files, and her instinct told her the timeline wasn't coincidence. She excused herself to her study and opened the university HR portal, searching for the complaint against Frank Mueller.
The complaint was filed on a Tuesday. Sarah's letter was voided that Friday, and the filer is anonymous, but Sarah's letter says it's Olivia.
Her reading glasses caught the screen's glow as she clicked through the file.
This is too precise. Someone in HR used the system to damage a candidate. I need to see if there's a history.
She began searching for Olivia Coleman's name across the complaint database, not yet knowing what she would uncover. Across campus, Olivia logged into the MBA admissions portal and clicked submit.
Now that Sarah's letter is dead, my application is the strongest one in the pile.
She leaned back in her chair, satisfaction curling the corners of her mouth.
I am a shoe-in. I have an inside edge nobody knows about.
While Olivia celebrated, Catherine's search returned a result from 18 months earlier. The complaint file listed Olivia Coleman as complainant against a professor's daughter in the history department.
The same scheme. A complaint, a suspension, a sunk recommendation. This was deliberate.
Catherine printed both files, Side by side, the pattern was chillingly precise. She knew what Olivia was. The question was what to do with it, and Olivia, still gloating in her cubicle, had no idea her application was about to land on the desk of the admissions chair herself. Catherine placed the two complaint files side by side on the dean's study desk.
Marcus, look at the dates. 18 months ago, she did the same thing to a professor's daughter.
The dean scanned the documents, his expression darkening.
This is professional misconduct. She works in HR. She knows exactly what she's doing.
And now she's applied to my program. I can't ignore this.
The dean leaned back, the weight of the situation settling between them.
What do you propose? We can't act without proper procedure. It could backfire.
I'll flag her application for extended review, quietly. We watch the investigation into Frank, and we let the process do its work.
The dean nodded, trusting her judgment. That night, Catherine wrote a confidential email asking the committee to hold Olivia's application, pending further documentation. Days passed, with no reply from the dean. Sarah checked her email every hour.
Frank, can we meet? I need to talk to someone about this.
They sat on the wide campus steps, leaves skittering around them.
I think Olivia filed the complaint. I saw her name on the file.
Olivia, your sister? Be careful, Sarah. Accusing her without proof could backfire.
He's right, but I know it was her. Now I am just waiting with nothing.
That afternoon, her phone rang with an unfamiliar number.
An interview at the regional program. I appreciate the offer, but I am holding out for my top choice.
She ended the call, the weight of her choice settling heavily. Sarah had turned down her only backup. Her future now rested on a letter she couldn't track. A week later, Olivia logged into her MBA portal and felt her confidence crack. The status had shifted from submitted to under extended review.
What does extended review mean? I submitted everything on time. There's no missing document.
The admissions officer gave a procedural answer. Additional verification was routine. Then hung up.
Routine? Since when does a perfect application need extra verification?
While Olivia simmered, the HR investigation concluded. Frank Mueller was innocent. The reinstatement letter read, Professor Mueller is cleared of all allegations and reinstated with full back pay, effective immediately.
It's over. Finally, it's over.
Across campus, Olivia refreshed her portal again. The status still mocked her. Frank walked back into his office with his head up. Olivia sat trapped by a process now turned inward. Catherine compiled every piece of evidence into a formal report, both complaint files, the timeline, and Sarah's letter. She presented it to the admissions committee that afternoon.
Olivia Coleman has a documented pattern of using the HR system to damage applicants. She is unfit for this program.
The committee voted unanimously to reject her application under the Code of Conduct. After the meeting, Catherine sat down to draft a different kind of letter. She addressed it to Sarah Coleman, offering a late cycle acceptance to the MBA program.
She earned this, and she didn't stoop to her sister's level to get it.
That evening, she showed the dean her letter for Sarah.
Send it. She deserves a clean path forward.
Catherine prepared both letters for mailing the next morning, one rejection, one acceptance, neither yet known, to the two sisters. 3 days later, a thick envelope from the MBA program landed in Olivia's mailbox. The letter read, Your application has been rejected for an undisclosed pattern of professional misconduct.
Pattern of misconduct. I didn't do anything wrong. This has to be Sarah.
She grabbed her phone and called Sarah. The line rang 4 times, then went to voicemail.
She's ignoring me. Of course she is. She set this up.
Across town, Sarah saw Olivia's name flash on her screen and felt a chill, then let it go. She had no idea that Olivia's scheme had collapsed, or that her own acceptance letter was resting in a mail bin 3 miles away.
I won't let her get away with this. I'll find out what she said.
She opened her laptop and began combing through the admissions policy, searching for an appeal process. Sarah, unaware of the storm gathering, sat down to dinner. The rift between them was now a chasm, and she didn't even know it. That evening, Olivia drove straight to Frank's campus office, her frustration boiling over. She pushed open his door without knocking.
Did you say something to admissions? Did Sarah put you up to this?
Olivia, I haven't spoken to anyone, but I know you filed the complaint against me.
Her face lost color, then flooded with anger.
You can't prove that. It's her word against mine.
The investigation cleared me. That's all the proof anyone needs.
She stood frozen, searching for a crack in his composure, but found none. Then she turned and left without another word. The next morning, a call from the admissions office lit up Sarah's phone.
Miss Coleman, this is Dr. Stewart. I am pleased to offer you a place in our MBA program. We've found the complaint against your mentor was unfounded, and your sister's involvement has been documented.
That afternoon, the acceptance packet arrived. She held the thick envelope, her hands trembling. The note from Dr. Stewart read, "Your integrity in a difficult situation is exactly the kind of leadership we seek."
She knows about Olivia. They believed me.
Sarah's chest shook with relief. She cried for the first time in weeks.
Olivia did this to me. Should I confront her now, or wait?
She pinned the acceptance letter to her wall. Thanksgiving was 2 weeks away. She decided to stay silent until then. Across town, Olivia was summoned to her manager's office without explanation. The manager asked pointed questions about her recent complaint filings.
They're investigating me. This is about the anonymous complaint. But how could they know?
Olivia realized her job might be at stake, but she still had no idea her own pattern had already undone her. A week before Thanksgiving, Sarah picked up a call from Frank. His voice was tight with concern.
Sarah, Olivia's job is under formal review for her complaint filings. She could be terminated.
Part of me feels guilty. But she almost stole my future. She did this to herself.
After hanging up, Sarah stood in front of her acceptance letter and rehearsed.
If she confronts me at Thanksgiving, I'll say, I didn't cause this. Your actions did.
Across town, Olivia sat in the dark, the rejection letter open on her laptop screen.
Who in admissions would know about my files? Only someone with access to HR records. But who?
She searched the admissions committee directory for hours, but Catherine's connection to the dean was invisible to her.
There's someone protecting her. Someone I can't see.
Both sisters counted the days until Thanksgiving. Sarah carried quiet dread. Olivia sharpened a blade of blame. Thanksgiving afternoon arrived, and the Coleman family gathered around the long dining table. Olivia came late, her smile tight, her eyes already hunting. Sarah felt Olivia's gaze on her. Before she even sat down, she poured wine and pretended not to notice.
She's too calm. She knows something.
Sarah raised a glass to toast the family, and Olivia's silence was louder than any word at the table. After the plates were cleared, Olivia slipped into the hallway and motioned for Sarah to follow. Sarah's chest tightened, but she went. This was the moment she had rehearsed in her head.
Tell me what you said to the admissions committee, Sarah. I know you are the reason I was rejected.
Her voice was low and unsteady, the accusation sharp as a shard of glass. Sarah met her sister's eyes and felt the weight of every secret between them. The question hung in the air, and for a long second, neither of them breathed.
I told them nothing, Olivia. They already saw everything. You made sure of that 18 months ago.
The words landed like a verdict. Olivia's face drained of color, her lips parting without sound.
18 months ago, the history professor's daughter. They found it.
Her mind raced backward to that old complaint, the one she thought had been buried.
That was different. That wasn't.
It was exactly the same, and now everyone who matters sees it.
Olivia opened her mouth, but no defense came. The truth had already filled the space between them. Sarah turned and walked back toward the family. Her shoulders straight, her heart finally quiet. Olivia stood frozen in the dim hallway, her carefully built world collapsing inward. She had tried to steal her sister's future, only to discover her own past had already stolen hers. Olivia stayed in the hallway until her breathing steadied, then walked back to the table with a stiff mask of composure. She slid into her chair and picked up her fork as if nothing had happened. Sarah watched her for a moment, then turned her attention to the apple pie and let the silence stretch.
Just get through this. No one needs to know.
The family exchanged glances but said nothing. The tension had its own presence at the table. Conversation limped along, but the ease that once filled the room had vanished. Dessert was eaten quickly. People began gathering coats before sunset. Olivia gathered her purse without looking at anyone, her movements brittle and fast. Sarah stood by the window, watching her sister's car pull away. The house exhaled. The family would never fully know what happened, but they understood enough. Something between those two had broken for good. 2 weeks after Thanksgiving, Olivia was summoned to a final meeting with HR and her department head.
This is it. They're terminating me for filing a complaint. This is all Sarah's fault.
The termination letter stated, "Your complaint against Professor Muller was found to be retaliatory and in bad faith."
They can't fire me for following procedures. This is Sarah's revenge. She must have lied to someone.
While Olivia packed her desk in bitter silence, an envelope from the university ombudsman landed in Sarah's mailbox. The letter read, "We deeply regret the mishandling of your application and confirm that Professor Frank Mueller has been fully reinstated." That same week, Sarah walked into her first MBA lecture, the morning light streaming through high windows.
This is where the past stops defining me.
3 miles away, Olivia sat in her empty apartment, feeding a copy of her HR complaint into the paper shredder, 1 page at a time. The blades whirred, and with them, the last shreds of her professional reputation turned to confetti on the floor. Over the following months, a row of thin envelopes from MBA programs lined Olivia's kitchen counter. Every rejection cited a pattern of behavior incompatible with the program's standards.
Even the satellite campuses won't take me. This isn't about qualifications anymore.
She applied to a small private program that didn't require recommendation letters from faculty. 3 weeks later, the decision arrived. It used the exact wording she had come to dread.
There's a flag on my academic record. Every admissions office sees it. I am locked out forever.
100 miles away, Sarah walked into a corporate headquarters for her final internship interview.
This internship is the top one in the program. If I land it, I am set.
She got the offer. Her name was listed in the business school newsletter as one of the early internship placements. While Sarah's career accelerated, Olivia stared at another rejection and understood. Her own name had become the thing she could not escape. On a late autumn afternoon, Sarah found Frank on the campus bench where they had last spoken months ago.
I knew you'd be back, and I knew it would be with good news. The internship is impressive.
I owe you more than I can say. If you hadn't listened, I don't know where I'd be.
You didn't need me to save you, Sarah. You needed someone to believe what you already knew.
They watched students hurry past, and for a moment, the campus felt like a place that had finally delivered justice.
Closure isn't forgiveness. It's just the quiet after the noise.
Later, she opened her laptop and found an email from Catherine Stewart. Catherine wrote, "Integrity is the only credential that outlasts everything else. I am proud to have been part of your story." Sarah saved the email in a folder labeled Forward. Then she closed the laptop. The rift with Olivia would remain. But Sarah no longer measured her worth by her sister's opinion. A full year after Thanksgiving, Olivia sat in a coffee shop on her lunch break, tapping through a spreadsheet for a temp admin job. Her phone buzzed with a business school newsletter. She almost ignored it, then saw her sister's name. The headline read, "Alumna Sarah Coleman earns top promotion at Fortune 500 firm."
There she is, again. I can't even be angry anymore. She earned it. I just didn't.
She closed the newsletter and looked out at the rain, her own reflection faint in the glass. The rejection letters still in her bag felt heavier than they had in months, but the bitterness had dulled into something quieter. That same week, Sarah stood in her new corner office, pinning Catherine's acceptance letter to her wall.
I've come so far, and I did it without stepping on anyone.
2 women, same blood, now living in worlds that would never touch again. Sarah crossed the graduation stage, her diploma held high, the auditorium erupting in applause. After the ceremony, she hugged Frank tightly. A single photo captured the moment, which she would keep forever.
I finally have the life I built, and no one can take it.
3 miles away, Olivia stared at her laptop. A folder titled MBA Applications still sat on her desktop.
What's the point? Even if I got in, I'd still be the sister who stole her sister's future.
She dragged the entire folder to the trash and clicked empty. The icon disappeared. The sisters hadn't spoken since Thanksgiving. The family had quietly sided with Sarah, though the full story remained unspoken. Olivia's phone lit up with one more rejection email from a program she had applied to months ago. She deleted it without reading. The screen went dark, and she set the phone face down on the table. Sarah stood in her new office, looking out at a skyline that once felt impossible. In the same coffee shop where she once hid from the rain, Olivia opened her laptop and stared at the homepage. A business news clip played on autoplay, top MBA graduates reshaping the industry. Sarah's name appeared in the segment credits.
Of course. She's everywhere now.
Olivia watched the clip for 17 seconds, then pressed pause.
I did this to myself. Every door closed. I locked it.
She closed the laptop. The screen went black, and her own reflection stared back. Outside, the rain had stopped. The city lights blurred through the wet glass. She didn't cry. Crying would have required the energy of hope. One choice to tear down her sister had become the architecture of her own defeat. And somewhere across town, in a high-rise that used to be out of reach, Sarah opened a window and let the night in.